Okay, this is our latest project car. I'm not sure how long we're gonna have this car, so I thought I'd do a video real quick about what we got here. So what this is a 1980 Porsche 924 Euro. Now you may be asking yourself, what's Euro mean? Euro means this car was not made for the States. It was imported from overseas by somebody. Now the way you can tell that is the bumpers are a little bit different on this one than you'll find on cars that are made for the United States. You'll also notice a little bit different with the side blinkers right here. There's usually a round one here instead of a square one, and the bumpers protrude quite a bit from the front and in the back. I'm guessing for crash test reasons. Now, and also it doesn't have any of the smog stuff under the hood. It doesn't have the catalytic converter. It doesn't have all the fun vacuum hoses and all that other garbage under the hood that you normally see with cars from the States. So cool car. It runs and drives just fine. It's a 5-speed 2.0 liter. I'm sorry, straight forward. Kind of lost my mind there for a second. And pretty good shape, actually. I mean, you can see some spots here. I think it's been repainted. They didn't do a very good job coming off right here and on the roof, but not too bad. It's just surface rust. It's just, this will be able to be scrubbed up and repainted pretty easily. The interior is really nice. It's pretty bare bones. My son's already got a new boot and new shifter on there. We had the stock one, but that's pretty snazzy. I actually really like the gauge clusters in this car. You got the tach over here. You got some oil pressure. Nice clock that works. Voltage over here. You got your temperature and fuel over here with some dummy lights, and of course a speedometer. This shows 30,000 on the, well, I'm sorry, yeah, 30,000 on the odometer, but the odometer doesn't work, so who knows how many it has actually on it. It came with new carpet. The guy had, but it looks like somebody might put new carpet in it, so it's in really good shape. We got some kind of crap in the back right now, but the back seats are in good shape. There's a little bit of fading. You can kind of see on the back of the seats here where they're starting to want to rip. Then we have all the old carpet and rugs in the back seat. We bought this car and the rear glass was removed in it. We just basically put it back in, and it seems to be working fine. The latches don't latch great. So this is a big hatchback, kind of lifts up. The glass is one big long piece there. So let's see if we can get under the hood here. Interesting little doorknobs here. These are a little different for my taste. Let's see. While I'm in here, I got doors open. It's in great shape. I mean, there's no really any rust or anything going on. There's, we took up the frame. My son's already put new tires on it, some Cooper Cabras. For those of you who are familiar with those, it's missing things like the little pieces of trim along here, like that glue-on stuff. But you can buy those in a roll and just stick it back on. Again, door panels are pretty plain Jane, but they're all there. They're in good shape. Yeah. Now these cars look quite a bit different than the ones made for the States. The bumpers for the ones made in the States, they're really goofy looking. I really like the looks of this car overall. It's a sharp little sporty looking car. Those are the stock rims. But the American ones that are made for the US, the bumpers protruded quite a bit. They look kind of silly, honestly. Let's see. Stuttgart Porsche. This thing up here. There we go. All right, so this car's had actually a lot of work. When we bought it, we got quite a few receipts. Fuel pump, fuel tank, looks like an aftermarket ignition, some MSD ignition box there. Yeah, coil, sparks, plugs, wires, a lot of stuff done on it before I even bought it. I haven't really touched the thing because I really don't know a lot about these cars. It seems to run just fine, doesn't leak anything. We had a little bit of a problem with the overpressure of the hot water or the coolant, but I think it was just overfilled, so we topped it off. It seems to be working fine now. Pop-up headlights work. Not vacuum controlled like some of the cars I've had in the past. It's actually controlled by this motor right here, and a long bar goes across the front, so I don't think these probably fail very often unless the motor fails. And you'll notice, you look real close at a lot of things, that says VW. Now the story on these cars were, it was basically the poor man's Porsche, right? They weren't all that popular with Porsche purists because it was a front motor, rear gearbox car. Trying to find something for an entry-level person to get a Porsche as opposed to having to buy a 911. So that's why they made these. Now they made it in conjunction with the Volkswagen folks, and this one was made in 1980, so or 79. So but it's an 80 model. So this was actually built in a Volkswagen factory. I think if I remember the story correctly, in 81 they switched to actually making them in Porsche factories. So this was actually made in a VW factory. A lot of things say VW underneath here. The engine is an Audi. It's like a sideways four-cylinder. I call it a slant four, but I don't think they call it. I think they just called it a straight four. But I call this a slant four. Pretty zippy little thing. It goes about 120 miles an hour topped out. That's where we got it topped out at. And it's a 5-speed, so you can go as fast as you can shift. Basically, clutch is really easy to use in this. It's a great entry level, stick shift car. Like my son, he's not really used to it, so he's still learning. But yeah, it's a pretty cool car. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff that's still in German, of course, because it wasn't made for the States, right? So most of I've seen other cars that were made in the States, and all these danger tags are in English first and then German second. This is a little different. So, but like I said, really clean under the hood. No real rust or anything like that. There's some, I don't really, they never really had any insulation up here from what I can tell from factory wise, but yeah, looks nice. Runs really well, and our plan right now is probably just to kind of clean it up, fix it up. It's got these little dings and scratches here. Fix the paint issues. It's got a pretty decent, like someone hit a curb or something with the ground effects down here, so that's a little bent up. Probably won't do much with that unless I find a parts car somewhere. But right now we're just going to probably drive it and play with it and have fun with it. There's a Oktoberfest car show near me coming up this month, or October, I'm sorry, where it's just German-made cars. So this will be fun to take out there, and they're gonna have a color too and everything. So we're gonna try that out. But yeah, pretty cool little car. Parts to get, I really don't know how hard it is to get parts for these things. Yeah, don't pay any attention to the expired plates there. We just threw a plate on here to get down the road with it. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool little car. There's a little spot here. It's like the paint's rubbing off a little bit, but again, this is one of those cars that, 20 feet away, it looks pretty sharp. Get it too close to you, start seeing things wrong with it. There's a little bit of paint busted off the sub rails down here, and there's a little bit bent. Looks like someone tried jacking it up where they shouldn't have jacked it up. Actually, I'm just noticing that for the first time. But again, it's a 31-year-old car. I'm sorry, 41-year-old car. So it's kind of be expected. Got 4-wheel discs. The front discs are the cooled ones. So that's pretty nice. It does stop on a dime. Yeah, it's a fun car to drive. So cool car. Well, hopefully I'll have some more videos. We end up working on this thing and busting some stuff open. And for you guys who might be interested in these 924s. Like I said, it's kind of the poor man's Porsche. We got it for a couple grand. I see them online, man, in restored condition, anywhere from like 8 to 15,000. But I don't think we have any plans in restoring this guy. There's not really much point in it that I can see, other than just unless we want to resell it. But yeah, so we did a little bit of work to it, and it's fun to drive, and we'll see if we have anything else to say about down the road. You guys have any questions or comments or anything I can help you with? If you got a 924, I mean, I've done a little bit of work on it, so I can tell you some things, maybe some tricks to it, and I can help you out. So, all right, thanks guys.